Buying your first caravan is super exciting and it's a great adventure. However, it is a very risky business because in my experience, most of caravans out there do not match their description. So today I'm going to give you tips, tell you what to check, how to carry out an inspection before you buy your first caravan. And it will be especially relevant to you if your budget is low, if it's maybe a few £100, £1,000, £2,000, you're looking at older caravans and it is a minefield. But you can still get a good deal, you can still avoid being robbed and conned. So listen to my advice, I will tell you what to watch out for, what to check, do's and don'ts. And the first thing, the most important thing, I know you will be super excited about viewing caravans, but don't you ever tell the sellers that this is your first caravan and this is the first time you are buying one. Don't. Just forget about it. Right, let's dive in. Do's and don'ts, what to check, how to inspect a caravan before buying. Give me a thumbs up and let's dive in. Hi, if it's your first time here, welcome! My name is Kat, I live in a caravan full-time, I work on a caravan inside and I travel in winter. My workmate is trimming grass around me, so you might hear a trimmer during this video. Yes, we are on a caravan inside. What a place to make a video on buying the caravans. So tips, how to conduct an inspection. So just a word of warning, there are many ruthless sellers out there who will just exploit your lack of knowledge and lack of experience. So, as I said earlier, never ever admit that this is your first caravan, this is the first time you're buying a caravan. And to avoid any traps and to avoid buying a lemon, you could either hire a professional technician who will inspect the caravan for you and pay them. If you want to save money, do your own research, read articles, use Facebook groups, watch videos like this, and simply learn how to inspect a caravan yourself. So just to prove my words, when we were buying a caravan, we viewed many, and this one was the only one which matched a description. And you will not believe what stories we heard from other sellers who were trying to sell us a dodgy caravan. But okay, what to check before buying an older caravan? The first, inspect the outside. Yes, so checking the outside of the caravan. When you arrive to view your caravan, your potential caravan, it should be connected to the mains. It should be connected to electricity. There should be a gas cylinder in the front locker. There should be an aqua roll or any other container with water and of course a water pump. And there should be a charged battery in one of the lockers under the sofa. So we will start our proper inspection outside in a minute, but even before you set off, before you leave your home, when you are talking to the seller, warn them that you will need at least an hour to view the caravan, possibly longer, and that it has to have all these things I mentioned. If anyone says, oh, I cannot connect it to the mains, the caravan is in the middle of nowhere, we just ran out of gas, we lost our water hog, the dog chewed the water pump, there's no gas cylinder, we ran out a week ago, you could always give them a benefit of the doubt and say, okay, I will come with my battery, my gas cylinder and my generator for electric. And if they still come up with a strange story, just pass. Don't go, don't waste your time. Because if the seller is genuine and they are honest with you, everything should be prepared for your inspection, which means the caravan should be connected to the mains, the fridge should be cooled. If everything is working and they have nothing to hide, they should be proud and confident to show off their van. So this is the first thing which you have to do. Warn them and make sure that things are in place, that the caravan is connected, the battery is there, gas is there, and that you are not viewing something, you know, in the middle of nowhere and they are full of excuses. Okay, so if they are okay, they said, okay, you can come, the caravan will be ready, start your inspection outside. So when you inspect your caravan outside, you are looking for signs of two issues. The two potential problems, and the first one is any accidental damage, which happens. especially when people reverse and they do it too quickly, or they are new drivers, they are new to towing. It's actually very easy to either scratch your caravan or hit it full on. So any signs of accidental damage, and the second thing, any signs of water ingress and damp. It happens to the best. You may be thinking, why haven't they replaced this light? Well, because it costs £50 for a second-hand light. So have a good look. And bear in mind that if you need to replace anything, it will cost you quite a lot. Another silly mistake which we made when we had a motorhome is actually driving with an open window. So luckily we haven't done it to our caravan yet, but we've done it to our motorhome. A second-hand window costs anything between £50 to £100. So check if those windows are as they should be, solid and in one piece. No scratches, no dents, no cracks. You want to have a good look all over the caravan, so take a ladder with you, don't be shy. It's your money which is at stake here. So take a ladder, have a good look at the roof, make sure there are no holes or any areas where water is standing. It would be actually very good to view the caravan after heavy rain. If there is any standing water, which shouldn't be, this may indicate a problem, because with time this water could get inside. Yes, so don't be shy, take a ladder, inspect the roof, take a mat, get underneath to make sure the chassis is not rusty, and just inspect everything. Take your time. You warned the seller you will need time, so don't feel bad about that. Check all the joints, make sure they are watertight, it's all solid and filled in. If there are any signs of repair, any new sealant, ask the seller what happened, who's done it, whether they did it themselves or they had it done, they paid someone else for the service. Yes, water ingress, that's a big problem, especially in older vans. Water basically kills your caravan. If water gets inside between the layers of the walls, it just kills your caravan. And because what's underneath is plywood. And water plus plywood plus many years, incorrect storage, this is a catastrophe. So a caravan which is solid and dry will have solid walls. So once you've inspected the caravan visually, you might want to have a little feel, just like with a woman really. At first you look at her, then you have a little feel, or with men, why not? So anyway, if you've been satisfied with presentation, have a little feel and make sure that it is solid. Literally push those walls, they should be solid. If it's bending, if you feel that those layers are separated, this is a sign of water ingress. That means that there was a leak, maybe on the roof. It's a tricky game to find a leak if a caravan is leaking, but one of the indicators is that those walls will be spongy, walls or the floor. You don't want a caravan which has damp and which is rotten inside. So again, take your time, have a feel, and don't feel stupid. As I said earlier, a genuine seller has nothing to hide. Right, we will get inside in a minute, but before we do, make sure that the aqua roll is here and the water pump and the water filter is there. Of course you can replace it if you fancy, but you can clean, you can disinfect an aqua roll. You don't have to buy a new one. New one will set you about 80 quid. Yeah, second hand maybe £40. Water pump £60, water filter another £40. Yeah, so check they are there. You can always disinfect what you have. I'm trying to give you the best advice possible, but probably the list of things to check will not be full. So if you have any other advice, any other tips for other buyers, please share in the comments. And if you are interested in disinfecting your aqua roll and water system, check our other video about how we did it here. Right, let's get inside. First impression is very important. As you walk in, have a good breath in, have a good sniff, because remember, we don't want any damp, we don't want any caravan which has leaks. And first impression is really important here, because normally you will smell damp straight away. So the two smells which you have to watch out for is the smell of damp and the smell of fresh paint. Because if there is any fresh paint, maybe some damage or some damp was painted over days or hours before your inspection. Have a good look inside. I would start with feeling the walls one by one, each section, one after another. Have a little feel of the floor. Does it bend under your feet? It shouldn't. It should be solid. Check all windows one by one. You could pull this seal and have a look underneath. Make sure the plywood is dry, there is no mold. Make sure you have all these handles, because if these are broken you have to replace the whole window, and as I said, £50 to 150, depends on the size. And this is a Caravan from 1995. It's in a really good condition, because look, we have all the arms. So check if these are in place and they are not snapped, not broken. They break quite easily, especially in newer caravans, and I personally think that those older vans were built to last, and very often an older van is of higher quality than the newer ones. I've seen many caravans which are just a few years old and they are in a worse shape than our old van. So check the windows, make sure you have the arms, there is no mold under this rubber, no mold around the window, there are no holes. I literally inspected a caravan and found a hole like that by the window. And when I asked the owner, oh, what is this hole? What is this damage? Which was obviously water damage and rotten plywood. He said, oh, first time I see it. Rubbish, absolute rubbish. So you have to check everything yourself. Blinds and mosquito nets. Look, we have them. This van is almost 30 years old, but everything works. Those blinds are another sensitive thing here in a caravan. They break quite easily. So it would be lovely if you have them, because they make a real difference in the summer. But be prepared that they are damaged, because in many newer vans they are damaged, especially if they are used every day. It's something that, you know, gives up very quickly. So now I will tell you why it was so important to make sure that there is a battery, a charged battery, that the caravan is connected to the mains, and that there is a gas cylinder. Most of appliances which you will find in a caravan are powered by either 230 volts, 12 volts or gas. That's why it's so important that you have those three sources of power in place to carry out your inspection. Because a fridge, for example, a standard caravan fridge is a three-way fridge, and you need standard electricity, 230 volts, a battery which will provide 12 volts power, and gas to actually check if the fridge works as it should, and it works in three ways as it should. And again, these are very, very expensive to replace. If you would like to buy a new three-way fridge, prepare about £300. So as you can see, this is the gas setting, battery 12 volts and standard electricity 230 volts. There should be a gas heater which you have to test as well. Again, a second-hand working gas heater is over £100. You could ask the seller to switch it on for you and demonstrate that it works as it should. Three ways, yeah, three sources of power. That way you will not show that you don't know how to operate it. And the same with a gas heater. Ask them for a demonstration. Make sure that the water pump is on, and again you will need either a battery or connection to the mains to operate the water pump. And yes, go for it and try every single tap. Make sure they work, make sure it's all connected. Once we bought a motorhome, and it was only a few weeks, we discovered the taps were not connected at all. They were just put there in place, but we didn't even have a water pump. Same in the bathroom. Don't take their word for it. Check if these taps are working and water is running. Of course you have to test the toilet. Maybe don't sit on it, but make sure that the flush is working. We have a manual flush here. You may have an electric flush. Again, expensive to replace. The whole set, second hand, guess how much it costs? £130 for the whole toilet unit, excluding the plastic cassette. If it's broken, if it's damaged, if someone dropped something heavy on it, very often people store heavy things in the bathroom when they tow, which may damage the toilet. £130. The pump, probably £50. Yeah, make sure it works. Test it. Because as I said, those costs add very, very quickly. When I talked about windows, I forgot to mention skylights. Unfortunately, they are made of plastic, so make sure they work and that the handles are not broken. If a skylight is damaged, yes, again, you can replace it. If you have £50 for a second-hand normal skylight, if you want the one with an electric fan for the kitchen, it's easily over £100. So it doesn't really matter how old the caravan is, but how it was treated, how it was used, whether people respected it or not, whether they bothered to cover the cushions with a blanket if they have a dog, whether their dog liked to dig holes in the cushions or not. Our dog doesn't like to dig, luckily, but if we had to replace the cushions in our caravan, that would set us £130 for second-hand set. So it would be lovely and it would be ideal if the seller is genuine, they have nothing to hide, they plug the van to the mains, they fire up the fridge before your arrival, they even switch the water heater on, whether they use gas or electricity, to make sure that you can test and, fill warm water from the taps. If they have nothing to hide, again, as I said earlier, they will show off their van, answer your questions, they will not rush you, and they will understand that you want to inspect the van thoroughly. So remember, again, never ever admit it is your first time, never ever say it's your first caravan. It may be a good idea to take a friend who already owns a caravan and has a bit more experience, because honestly, I've seen so many dodgy caravans and heard so many stories like, oh, we've never seen this hole, it's never been there, or I don't know about this because it's my husband who deals with these things or repairs, can't tell you much, we've never used the gas heater before, we never had to use a fridge, blah blah blah. So just beware of many, many dodgy stories. Unfortunately, not all sellers are genuine, as I said earlier, and it doesn't matter if it's a private person or a trade person. That's reality. So you have to be smart, you have to be saucy, and you have to inspect and check everything by yourself. Unless you want to lose your money, basically. I hope you are enjoying this little video, and again, if you have more advice, more tips, please share in the comments. I'm in the bedroom now and you are here with me, and you know what's the final thing you should do, which is really important, and it doesn't matter if it's a caravan or a motorhome, but make the bed and make sure you can fit in the bed, because some of them are very short. If you have kids, make sure they can fit in their bunk beds, because it's such a silly mistake. Can you imagine getting a caravan of your dreams and finding that the bed is too short and that you don't fit in? That would be a nightmare. So that's it from me. The general advice is have a good look around, check everything, don't feel like a dummy, and especially inside, make sure that each single appliance works on gas, 230 volts and 12 volts. Of course, if there are any damaged items, any damaged appliances, everything can be replaced, but as I said during this video, everything costs money, and even second-hand stuff for caravan costs a lot. So you want to avoid it, really. You don't want to buy a piece of junk with a heater which is not working, a fridge which is not working, with a big hole by the skylight which needs repair. No. Be careful, take your time, do your research. There are many more videos you could watch, many more articles you could read, but probably nothing beats a friend who has more experience, a fellow caravan owner who will come with you and help. Be careful. Don't let anyone sell you a piece of junk which is overpriced. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have any more tips for first-time buyers, please share them in the comments, because sharing is caring. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's very important. We are striving, to building a good, informative channel which will help everyone interested in caravanning and everyone interested in living in a caravan full-time. Let me know what's your situation, whether you are buying a caravan for a holiday or if it's going to be your home. Be brave! Good luck! Good luck! And I hope you will find a caravan of your dreams. Buy yourself a lovely, dry, solid caravan. There are many nice caravans out there, but unfortunately there is a lot of real junk, and you don't want to be conned, basically. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!